And now we get a chance to talk to Andrew Eugene Pettitte, live from Texas. He's on the phone with us. Andy, it's Michael, Don, and Ryan. How you doing?
Hey, man. How are you?
Congratulations. What was your reaction when you were told this?
Well, really, I guess I just heard you say Georgie, head was spinning. It's still just, I really just speechless. I really didn't know. I really didn't know what to say except thank you, just thank you. I mean, it's what an honor. I mean, we're so excited. So excited that those guys are having, the same deal go on, and so excited that, the day before, I think we're going to do Georgie. So it's just going to be a special weekend, and man, just so fortunate and blessed, and just so thankful. I just appreciate it so much for the Yankees to do this.
Now, I want to clear up one thing. Your son kind of broke the news on Twitter, and from what I've heard, he's kind of gotten a lot of grief from people for like scooping the Yankees announcing it. But there was a method to this, right, Andy?
Well, yeah. I mean, the message was the Yankees wanted me to release it. They thought it'd be good coming from me. We found out, I think, Thursday, I think. So, they just said, just hold off. We would like for you to release it the day before. And I said, well, I'm not on Twitter, And they were like, well, just let your kids release it, and we think it'll be good coming from the family first, So if he's getting grief, I guess it's because I'm not on Twitter and I couldn't put anything out on social media. But I know they're excited and they're loving it, and the whole family is super excited about it for sure.
An amazing thing about this, Andy, too, is you go back when you made the decision to leave to go to Houston. Did you ever dream in a million years that not only would you go back, you would continue to flourish and that this day would come? Or did you think when you walked away at that time that you were closing your door on the New York Yankees?
Well, really, I did. I mean, I guess in the back of my mind when I signed with Houston, just because, I mean, and again, I don't want to rehash it, but just at that time, I wanted to sign back with the Yankees, but they weren't, I think, again, a bunch of teams made me offers, and it was just like, well, hang on a second, and so I just decided to go to Houston. I mean, as far as the money went, I was getting a lot more offers from the Red Sox, the Orioles. But if I was going to leave, New York, I wanted to just go to Houston. So I was just like, at that time I was like, man, I mean, am I going to finish my career in Houston? But I guess in the back of my mind, I always thought that maybe it would finish in New York. But, again, I was, 3 years in Houston, and then the Yankees call me and they're just like, man, would you please come back, And of course, when they asked me to come back, and I'm still considering retirement because at that time my elbow was still bothering me after my surgery and stuff like that, they were like, man, just come back, just come back and we'll figure everything out and it'll all work out. And then to be able to come back and to stay those years and to be able to win another World Series and just be with the guys that I had come up with, it was just a special run. And you don't even know what to say. I just feel so fortunate to have played for the organization, put me around such great players every year, to have an opportunity to win. It was just a special place to be.
Andy, you've talked a lot about how this game was never easy for you, how you've always felt like it was a grind, it was hard work. Now, I mean, you're getting your jersey retired by the most prestigious franchise in sports history. So, I mean, how surprising is that when you consider how difficult just playing every day was for you by your own admission, the way you described it as you went through it?
I really don't know how to describe it. I guess just, I was fortunate enough to play for a long period of time. Again, I've told you all over and over. I mean, I feel like I'm a product of just great people around me and great teams. And, I mean, I had the opportunity to make all these postseason starts because we had such great teams always, and I was, thank the Lord, able to stay healthy. And so, I guess just I love that I was mentally able to stay in it, and like you just said, the grind of it. I really got to learn how to embrace that and to almost enjoy it, if that makes any sense, and just I loved it to be a struggle, and because that was just how it was for me. So anyhow, just to be able to do all that, and then obviously you start as the years start adding up. Then you know the media, and you start seeing that you're right there, and you're winning games like as many games as Mel Stoudemire, and then Ron Guidry, and then you start passing all these people, and then you get close to White. So it's all being told to you and talked to you, but you just don't. I don't think you pay much attention to it when you're in it. It's really cool.
Talking with Andy Pettitte here on the Michael K. Show. Now, Andy, most Yankee fans are thrilled that you're getting your number retired, and there are some Yankee fans, and there are obviously anti-Yankee fans that go, how are the Yankees retiring a number of a guy who cheated and used PEDs? I'm sure you've heard this. What's your answer to that when people say, the guy used PEDs, how's his number being retired?
Well, I mean, I guess the great answer, or the first answer I'd have to say is, I mean, you'd have to ask, the Yankees that question. Mm-hmm. I would hope it's because they've seen, something in me, or whatever. But I can't answer that question. I tell you one thing that I just tell you, just in this interview right now. I mean, and again, people are going to say what they want to, believe what they want to, but when you say PEDs to me, man, I just can't even comprehend that with me, just because I don't believe I ever did anything to try to enhance my performance on the field. If I would have, I mean, I would tell you, I would have told you all that. I mean, man, my story's been an open book. I mean, when all that came out, I sat there in a press conference for hours, I believe, and ask me any question you want to, So, again, that's just, I've already studied that, but I don't, I was told that might be able to help me heal from an injury in a time whenever I was just searching and desperate to get back on the field, and that's it. I mean, so for when you say that, it just again, and people are going to believe what they want to believe, but it makes me cringe because I've never tried to do anything to cheat, and I've never tried to do anything to enhance my performance on the field. If I needed that, I feel like, I would have needed it when I was 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 years old pitching. And I don't even know how to answer the question, really. I hope I answered it decent. I don't really know.
I mean, I know you so well, and I'm coming from a place where I've always said, like, I just had a son, that if my son Charlie grows up to be Andy Pettitte, I'd be quite happy. I truly feel like that about you as a person, but does it bother you knowing that some people feel like that and other people think that you're a cheat? Does that bother you? Does it hurt you?
Well, of course you don't want people to think you're a cheat. I mean, that's common, that's just common. But again, I can't control what people believe, Michael. We know that people are going to believe what they want to believe. Man, like I've said over and over, the good Lord's got me right in his hand. And I don't know why this has come about, and I'm going through this, but he's got me, and he's going to carry me, my family, through whatever comes about. And I want to represent him. I want to represent my family in a great way, and that's all I've ever tried to do in my whole life and in my whole baseball career.